What's up, everybody? Welcome to the final hour out here at the Lickin' Miami Gardens. Just because the final hour of the show doesn't mean you shouldn't be rolling through. It is 4:20. Got plenty of time to get over here, beat the traffic. Time's running out, but you got a chance. Beat the traffic, get some food, some really, really high quality food. As you can tell by the comments, people want to come back every single time. The bar is rolling. Got people rolling in here, ready to get ready for. Should be a showcase game here, prime time, man. It's the only show in town, really.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people getting off work now around this time, starting to get in their cars, headed to Hard Rock Stadium, and I think the energy levels will continue to rise here. The weather looks like it's going to be nice, a little windy, as we talked about in hour 2, but no rain, man. Looks like, you know how it is in South Florida, things can change very quickly out of nowhere, but the coast should be clear there tonight.
But look, since the last time Miami lost at home to Louisville, last team to beat Miami at home, that was the game where, Tyler Van Dyke actually had been struggling throwing picks. He actually had a bounce back game that day, threw the ball pretty well, but tight ends killed us. It's one of the first cracks in the armor for Gidry, who previously had been getting a lot of hype. We got killed by tight ends in that game. Last loss in the Rock. Been winning since, third longest home winning streak in the country. So becoming an event, right? It's becoming a thing. You go to the Rock, you enjoy a good time, you see some fireworks, and you see a win. This is a chance to be a really, really fun game with the way these two teams play, with the crowd, with the weather. Everything's shaping up. Now you just got to deliver on the field.
Shout out to Fire Marine. He says, hey, fellas, great show. Got to hook up with you guys when I go down for the Syracuse game. Without a doubt, man, we will be here at the Licking before the game, as we always are, the Licking Miami Gardens, 17647 Northwest 27th Ave, right down the street from the stadium.
We got a comment from Sergio. Says, kickoff can't get here any sooner. Let's go. Well, obviously, we'll be on here for an hour, so you'll be hanging out with us. And with that, you still have some more time to kill if you're not here at the stadium. Why don't you check out KashKick, KashKick, the app on your phone. Play some games, man. This thing will coordinate all the games, consolidate them. So whatever you're into at least one of these type of games. It could be puzzles. It could be fashion, crosswords, cards, you name it, chess, bank tycoon, whatever it is. You get these games on your phone, you play them. As you're playing them, you make some extra money on your side or on the side. This is a totally legit operation. You're talking about 4.5 plus average rating on the App Store. You're talking about number 4 lifestyle app on the App Store. Connect it right to your Google, to your Facebook, to your PayPal, all legit. Again, this is a major, major league app. You make extra money while you're playing games. And to top it all off, the rare triple win, the advertisers will match the dollars that are going to you with money going to the American Cancer Society. So triple win. You get money, Cancer Society gets money, and you play some great games. So KashKick, KashKick in the App Store.
What's going on?
So
we got some Canes fans rolling through here at the Licking. Jeff Brohm said a lot this week in the press conferences. I feel very good about Miami's chances today.
What's going on, man? Appreciate you, man. What's your name? Saif. We got Saif in the building. What's the score prediction? 41-10 from Saif live with the Licking.
I like it.
All right, let's go.
Appreciate you, Saif.
Saif with
I love it,
cameo,
man. I love it.
Bringing the
Brought
energy.
the energy, man. We need that, man.
Maybe it's picking up here at the Licking.
Yeah,
The energy.
you
You can tell it's
hear
getting a little closer to game time.
I'm telling you,
the
man.
energy's picking up. The R&B is tuning out. It's a little more of a hyped up feel.
No, man, but the Jeff Brohm, we've sung his praises this week. We respect him. But he's been very complimentary of Miami this week. I know you had some stuff you wanted to talk about that he was getting into this week. He was talking about Miami's defensive line. You and I kind of went back and forth about that. Regardless, we can agree that it's been interesting hearing some of the stuff he said.
And you got to read between the lines sometimes, because we've heard Cristobal talk about these other teams. If you ever watched the Mario Cristobal show with Sagaki, you're going to think that we are playing, the undefeated Ravens with Brady and Moss or something like that. It's just kind of how coaches tend to talk about the other team, so you don't overlook them. It's just part of the game. But you could see little bits of insight if you look at it the right way and just kind of look between the lines of some of the things that they're focusing on with their own team and with the matchups. So basically he says there needs to be an aggressive type of approach on all three segments, offense, defense, special teams, and the plan has to work, but you can't beat yourself. They've had a lot of turnovers. I get the sense that they're going to go for broke in this game. They have to play that way. They cannot play a conservative game, beat the Miami Hurricanes. They're not strong enough up front. So I do think you will see them empty the bag, the trick plays, maybe the fourth down go for it when it could be 50-50. I don't see them winning a conservative game, and I don't think they're going to play that way, even though they have turned the ball over in recent games. I just don't expect them to go to a shell. He said that. Coach speak, I get it, but I think he's being accurate there. On Carson Beck, Brohm says, NFL quarterback, big, tall, can make all the throws, played a lot of football. That's actually a pretty good description.
And Brohm knows his quarterbacks, by the way. So
he's a Brohm type of quarterback. Carson Beck in this system would be trouble. I think he fits like a glove.
Let me tell you something. To me, that's right up his alley.
I'm glad he's on our team instead of having to face Brohm and Beck together. Talked about the linebackers. He said 2 defensive ends that are really talented, big, fast, strong, big guys up front, fast linebackers. We talked about this quote, and look, whether it's true or not or whatever, I do think there's a kernel of truth when he said we talked to some of the coaches of Florida, and they said this front was better than the ones they've seen in the SEC the last 3 or 4 years. I think there's some truth that was said. Whether you're ranking them all, I don't know if Florida even played everybody, but I think, look, Florida should think that because they had the worst game they've played, I don't know, since when? I mean, they had less yards than Bethune-Cookman. So if I'm a Florida coach, I'm definitely not going to say they're bad. We get the worst game than Bethune-Cookman against. We're all going to say they're pretty dominant, which we were in that game. So it says, this was interesting from Brohm, and I think insightful, Pete. They're not overcomplicated, but when you're that talented, you don't have to be. They come off the ball, they strike, and do a very good job. I think that's all accurate.
I just said that a moment ago about last hour about Heatheran's defense. It's not exotic, but they do the fundamentals extremely well. And you say this all the time. They fly to the football. They're fast. They're physical. By the way, for as long as we've been following this team, and I'll call it now in this era that has not been a great era for us since 2004. How many times have we talked about how bad the tackling has been? That's not something you talk about with this team.
No.
Like they're not missing tackles.
No.
Now, they're going to be tested because they're going to have to tackle some guys in the open field tonight who can make guys miss, who can not just elusively, but have some power with how they run with the ball in their hands. So they're going to be tested there. But to me, man, that's been the biggest thing with this defense, is how well they've actually done the tackling, which sounds so simple, but it's not always been the case.
Name I want to highlight, circle. He's played a lot. He's playing more and more as the season goes on because he's a very explosive, talented player. Bryce Fitzgerald. So Bryce Fitzgerald is really the only guy on that defense that you say, excuse me, that you would say that there's tackling questions with his game. However, he's tackled pretty well this year. And if you look at this particular game, it's going to be a successful rush, you think. And you're going to have a quarterback that's giving the ball away, that's throwing a lot of pick sixes. If you're Bryce Fitzgerald, should be some opportunities, Pete, to make some plays. But at the same time, if you get a pick, that's great. Then you miss a tackle on Chris Bell and he goes 70 yards. Not so great. So you got to tackle as well.
Yeah, and he's been good. He hasn't been overly aggressive, right? Like that's something you hear about with guys who are ball hawking saves. And I think Cam Kitchens is a ball hawk and was a ball hawk at Miami, but there were some times in that last year at Miami, I think he was maybe chasing an interception, chasing a big play, which you have to really be, on top of it if you're Bryce, not to be too aggressive there. But he has not done that. And maybe they understand, hey, this is a freshman back there. He's had some success. Maybe we try to move him a little bit, get his eyes working in a different direction. But we talk about the physical nature of the position that we want to continue to see from him once those opportunities present themselves. But I think just in the coverage aspect of it, he hasn't been trying to do too much. He's been in the right place. It's not only the interceptions he's had, it's the ones where you're like, man, that back end has been pretty well covered.
No doubt about it. Always thank you to the arena. Appreciate your support. It says in the Uber, we'll be there at the Lickin' at 5 o'clock. Traffic sucked. I'll be there. Don't worry. That's why you got to get to the Lickin', man. Beat that traffic. But hey, it's all right. We're here, and we got plenty of people on the way. Phil L says the only time I see Fitz is when he's actively intercepting a ball. That's a fact. Saz Vader says Skinner's first time back in the Rock needs 0 catches. Yeah, I got no beef with Skinner. I mean, he wouldn't really have played here. Maybe he stuck with it and really, really developed here. Maybe, but he was getting paid a lot. I don't know.
He's not. Listen, there's guys who have left Miami and have talked or didn't choose Miami and spoke publicly poorly about Miami. I don't remember anything like that with him, right? I don't think there was anything disrespectful or anything bad on the way out.
No.
So I think we're, rooting for him any night but tonight. I'm not gonna say the zero catches thing. I'll probably have a couple, but.
Luis Delgadillo says it's amazing that no one has PTSD anymore. Am I the only one? Well, look, if this is a close game, I'm sure I'll be having flashbacks to last year's Virginia Tech game, which to me, of all the games last year, even Cal, which I was at, V-Tech was probably the scariest because you had to wait for a review. I mean, that was agonizing, Pete.
Yeah, that combo, if I'm a Louisville fan, that combo of having a quarterback who is not really mobile and the O-line being what it is not something against this Miami team that I feel very good about. Now, I think Louisville could win a lot of games in the ACC this year.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see this as the matchup that's great for them.
Yeah, it's a tough matchup for anybody in this conference just because I know we're a broken record, but maybe this matchup will go totally different. But I think watching the game in the first 5 minutes of the game, when you see a possession from both teams, it'll become apparent, hopefully, if not, there's a problem for Miami, but it'll become apparent that there's a trench difference. And that is, it happened against Notre Dame, but that wasn't necessarily what you expected going in. I think Florida State, you did expect that. I think for the most part, you got that. Castellanos, with his ability to get outside, make some plays, at least avoided the more obvious sack situations, but threw picks, made mistakes. So we'll see if someone can match up. Florida certainly couldn't match up. We know that. We'll see who can do it. Appreciate you.
T-Hound says, time. What's good, D-Money? Pete, game time. Let's go, man. It's been weird because normally you wake up on Saturday and I'm obviously excited it's game day. You wake up on Saturday and you have all the game, you turn game day on. It's a different buzz. But I do love the Friday game.
Oh, this is
because awesome. we're the only game on TV. We got all of Saturday tomorrow to hopefully enjoy and watch the rest of college football.
Yep.
So I enjoy these off. I like it better than Thursday nights. We used to have a lot of Thursday nights. I remember as a kid, all those Orangeville Thursday night games, I would be
school
a
day
zombie. Yeah, it's a school day. I was always a zombie. I remember that West Virginia game where I think it was John Petty.
Oh,
The kick at the end there.
Yeah. He was by the heck. I think he was there. I'm pretty sure he was there recently.
Interesting. But yeah, he was like a freshman that year, and that was a late ender. So you get the Friday night. Like we said, I think it's an employee night as well. So you get some extra people in the stands who take advantage of that opportunity. Yeah. But I think Friday night in Miami, man, you got some buzz on a Friday night in Miami. You got some juice, and don't be surprised if it's a late arriving crowd. I'm just telling you, the traffic, we're already getting word the traffic's bad. It's a 7 o'clock kick. I don't know, man. Unfortunately, I just see that being the case. I'm just throwing it out there.
100%. So got a comment from Gary Furman at
that you accidentally kicked.
No, I didn't. I kicked it on purpose. I wanted to tell you, fake Gary Furman, that you have a diehard fan in ESPN superstar Kevin Clark. When he came on the show earlier during, I think hour one, he was asking for you. He said, "Where is the fake Gary Furman?" He was cracking me up. So shout out to you, fake Gary Furman. Full disclosure, this is not the real Gary Furman, who is a good dude and does not partake in activities that I am aware of. But shout out to the fake Gary Furman.
Atomic Props says, Pete, you have any hot takes you want to share?
Because he got the props, right? So he's looking for
sometimes I don't know that hot takes can appear out of thin air. No. They've got to sometimes just marinate and you got to hot takes are, the take itself could be hot, but it's not just like
the hot springs in the from the ground. They got to percolate up.
Yeah, they've got to linger for a little bit. So I might have some hot takes after the game. But I have a feeling that if Miami handles business tonight, I'll say my post game message will probably be something along the lines of what we've alluded to a few times. Is like Miami should be able to run through this ACC and. We can talk about having PTSD. We could say that we're, maybe too cocky, don't want to look ahead. We say this all the time. That's for the team to worry about. I think this team, if they handle business tonight, we could start to have the conversation of, are they going to run through this ACC with ease? I mean, they're going to be we've said it, they're going to be double-digit favorites the rest of the way. So who are we really looking at? I think Georgia Tech and the ACC championship would be an awesome matchup.
Revenge, yeah.
I think, and I think, that Miami is more talented than them, but they're going to match up physically better than pretty much.
They're the second best team.
And that's how they play. They've built themselves on the same style. So I think that's a game that gets you ready for the playoffs.
Yep.
Other teams that you're going to see similarly there.
Monkey off your back because you already go through Syracuse on the way over.
They're not going to beat themselves, so you've got to play a clean game. So maybe, I don't know, maybe my hot take is I'm just starting to get excited about what Miami could potentially do the rest of the way here.
Well, Canes 305 said it right. The best thing about a Friday night game, you win this one, right? Like these ACC games should go. You're chilling on Saturday. Probably at the Lickin' or at Duffy's watching all the games, right? You're at your house chilling. So that'd be a nice Saturday. This one, he said, does the fall break affect student section turnout? Did you have fall break? Is that the same as Thanksgiving? No, it's October. What is it? There's another break?
Yeah, they get. I don't think it's going to affect it just because they don't go, and then a lot of the kids don't go. It's like an extra week in the middle of the semester. I don't know. I don't know what our society has come to, man. Even though I probably had the same break. I think.
Yeah, I was about to say, were you there when they had it? They had it when you were there?
Then honestly, I don't remember it.
For me, I've never heard of fall break ever. This is bizarre to me.
So yeah, and the line, as if you guys weren't with us before, the line was at 13.5 and it's now down to 10.5, which I gotta say that is a little interesting.
It is, but I mean, we have not heard anything. And I would deflect the question if we were hiding something. I've not heard anything to why the line would move, and I didn't get that sense from anybody. But we'll see. Canes 305. Side note: he's the OG Canes 305 from the Grassy days, writing for Brian Mill, not the other dude who borrowed my handle. My guy, I remember. I was actually thinking about that because I was wondering when I saw that handle. It's a very common handle.
I was going to say Canes 305.
But it's distinct to people who were around that time. That's the first thing to think of is that handle for this guy. So the OG, good to see you. Canes 305. Sebastian Font chiming in on text. He's saying fall breaks only 2 days. Student session will be packed.
Okay.
Thank you.
There we go.
By the way, so you mentioned the OGgrassy.com with Ryan Knoll. The new G Grassy.com is CanesInsight.com. All free. Sign up today. The forums are already going nuts. You got Trenton Breeze posting from Algebra 2. Miami Louisville by the numbers. You got the spread. Let's see what they're saying about the spread here. Just post up. There you go. Consensus 11.5 with plus 340 for Louisville. Maybe they're betting on a backdoor cover. Here's what this is. Okay, so I mentioned the ways Louisville could win. They're saying that Louisville has the highest pressure rate in FBS, and Beck does not like to be pressured, which no quarterback does, but maybe Beck less than most because he's not the most side-to-side athletic guy.
Interesting.
Here's what I'll say to that. Louisville hasn't played the Miami Hurricanes. So just like you saw Florida go against Texas, which is a pretty highly touted team, and Tyreek Sapp went from back of a milk carton to hitting Arch Manning every other play. That is the difference between the Miami offensive line and a lower caliber. Louisville's gone against nothing that's even close to Miami.
Yeah.
Texas is better than the teams they've played. So we'll see if that holds up. Lubin, we talked about Cliff Lubin, the Coastal Carolina transfer, is an explosive guy who can get some pressure. The other guy, I think, is number 23, is not so bad either. Can move a little bit. But ultimately, I think the way this offensive line plays together, the fact that you have a Mark Fletcher who's pretty big himself, or Marty Brown or Jordan Lyle, all three of them really, really good pass protectors, all 200-plus pounds, usually higher than that, closer to 225, 230. So, it's going to be tough for Louisville's pass rushers who are not Myles Garrett. These are smaller guys and fast, but not like, Dwight Freeney fast, right? So we'll see that matchup. That is a key matchup, but an interesting one as I go through. CanesInsight.com. Sign up today. 7.6 million posts and counting.
Got a question about any from Sergio here, if we have our eye on any potential upsets this week. And I was just looking at the slate, D. Nothing is really sticking out to me, I got to say. I I mean, Arizona State, they're not going to have – is Levitt back for this one? I don't know if Levitt's back, and even if he is back.
Yeah, he is back.
He's back,
He
right?
is back. He is back. Well, I don't know if it's official, but it sounded more likely than not he's back.
Maybe that one. That could – I mean, if Arizona State – they're playing for their season.
Yeah, what's the spread?
It's a 7.5-point spread. Texas Tech, Arizona State's at home. You know, the more I think about that one, and I love Texas Tech, but Arizona State's playing for their season. You know, they got to win out pretty much to go there, and that could be an interesting one there.
I'm pulling up my picks to see if I picked any dogs. I mean, not really. Oh, actually, you know what? How about this one right here? All right, Pete, can I give you one?
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm saying it could happen. You know, Mississippi State is at Florida, the Swamp. They can score points. They got a good offense. They've been a well-coached team this year. Mississippi State has. If they jump on Florida, let's say they score the first drive, maybe Florida has a turnover, those Boo Birds are going to be out. I know you've been hearing that Napier is in some potential trouble there as far as, again, not exactly breaking news, but there are a lot of rumblings that things are getting a little more serious when it comes to Napier. So if he goes down, which, you know, teams score first all the time, is how college football
They played
goes.
Tennessee tough this year.
Oh, yeah. That home field advantage goes from an advantage to a disadvantage in this situation very fast. The fans are already restless at the home team. So if Mississippi State jumps on Florida, the Boo Birds start coming out, I could see a situation where Mississippi State has a very, very good chance to seize control of that game, you know, get the crowd out of it, get the players kind of not checking out, but not very good energy around the thing, and they could score. So they can get that defense a little less intense than they've been for some of the big games, Florida, whatever. Texas A&M, which they just lost a physical game to. You can make big plays against them, and then Florida can make their own big plays, as we saw against Texas. But, you know, that's the most consistent offense in the world. So they can kind of run in the mud too.
Yeah, I could see Mississippi State winning that game for sure, man. I really can. And I think they've got a heck of a coach over there in Levy.
Yeah, they got speed. You know, Brennan Thompson, Blake Shapen. I'm actually just checking now because I wanted them to see that spread. Made me see like someone was injured, but I mean, oh, you know what? Someone is injured. So Fluff Bothwell is out. That's
a big one.
That's a big
I thought
one. There might be an injury there. But just those bad vibe teams.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised to see. I know they're 0-3 in the SEC now, and they're not very good. But Kentucky at home against Texas spiraling a little bit. Like I don't know. They only lost to Ole Miss by a touchdown. They got beat pretty badly by South Carolina and Georgia. But I'm a Stoops believer.
Well, I mean, the Texas coming off that win against Oklahoma. Yeah, I think they're feeling pretty good about themselves. But you know what, Pete? Kentucky's done it every year.
They do it every year. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't know. And Stoops, he's a secondary guy. Maybe throw some different stuff at Arch this week. But yeah, nothing really that I would classify as a shocker. Arizona State game, that's gonna be an interesting one. I think they actually. The more I've thought about that one now, I think they keep that one tight.
Yeah, if they're healthy, it sounds like they are going to be healthy. Jordan Tyson, Levitt, really the stars of that show. I think you got to block those guys too, man. Those Texas Tech defensive ends, they'd be good in the SEC, and they're in the Big 12. So
you got the
like
Holy
Miami.
War, by the way.
Oh yeah,
that's a good one.
Oh,
BYU, Utah.
BYU rolling.
Yeah.
So Fluff Bothwell out. Yeah. So that's definitely a benefit for the Florida Gators. But I don't know. Let's see. Phil L asking, is Duke an underdog? I picked Duke to beat Georgia Tech, and I believe they're like plus 1.5. So it's, you know, basically a pick-em game. Who do you like in that game? Duke
yeah,
or
it's
Georgia Tech?
Duke 2.5-point favorites. I like Georgia Tech.
Wait, Duke is a 2.5-point favorite.
Yeah.
I thought they were. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. So Georgia Tech a dog, but I did think Duke was going to take that one. So now that spread's gone up.
Yeah, I think. I just don't know that Duke's physical enough yet up front. I think they're doing a lot of what they're doing with I like some of the guys in the back end. We talked about them on group chat.
Yeah, the freshmen look good.
But the guys in the trenches, are they going to have enough to just stop that power run game of Georgia Tech? I don't know that they are. We saw Illinois have a lot of success.
Yeah.
And they had a nice run right up the middle on them for a touchdown as well. So I think Georgia Tech is gonna win that game. 60 0.5 point total there. So pretty interesting.
That's a lot.
That's what I thought too. I wouldn't think of those two teams as putting up like 30 each.
No, because Georgia Tech's going to want to run and keep the ball in Mentz's hands. Yeah, that might be the game of the week as far as like who's going to win. I mean, Alabama, Tennessee, 2 highest ranked teams. Then you have Georgia.
Luca wants to know your picks. I'll pull up your picks from earlier this week from the show with Mike, where the graphics a little, blocking us a little bit here. But you had Mississippi State. You had Mississippi State plus 9.5. You had Duke here minus 1.5, and then Arkansas.
Yeah,
which is a good. I think
that's another call. Maybe upset pick. I think Texas A&M, as much as I love their team, they're going to get someone really kind of try to come up and threaten them. But they're well constructed. I do think they'll probably win. That's why I didn't pick them as the upset. But something about that Arkansas game. The Arkansas, they can score. Petrino's locked and loaded. They're a little past the firing. They got a talented quarterback in Taylon Green. I don't know. That one's interesting to me. Georgia versus Ole Miss. Pete, who do you like in this one? I've been waiting for Ole Miss to come back to earth, and they've been surprising me. But I think even though I'm not a huge Georgia Bulldogs fan this year, I think they have enough to get it done at home against Ole Miss.
That win impressed me last week. How they came back. They didn't have their best stuff. That was a championship-type win for them.
Some help from the refs, which I think we all –
Yeah, that was – I saw that playing out live, and I saw it playing out exactly how it did there. You knew that was going to kind of happen there. But, no, I think they win. I think Georgia wins the game. I think it's going to be a tight one, and I think it's going to be a game where people still look at Ole Miss as a contender, not only a playoff contender, but a Final Four type contender after this one's done.
And a really interesting dynamic with Simmons and Trinidad Chambliss, and we did that. We got to find that video. I think we were probably the first video anyone ever did on Trinidad Chambliss. We did it like right when he committed.
We
were watching his old film too.
Well, I think when he committed, people were like, "Oh, why are this guy's going to be their third string QB? Like, what is this sort of thing?" Like, they already have the Austin Simmons. Everyone's excited about him. It was really, in the grand scheme of things, a very low key pickup. It was not nationally talked about deep.
No, at all.
It really was not.
He was a backup quarterback. Really,
it was one of those days where we were looking for stuff to talk about, and we were like, "Oh, they just picked up a D2 quarterback from." So, but then we watched them and legitimately, I think we were kind of like,
we got to go back and watch it.
No, we were like, I think off air, we were like, why didn't this guy's name come up with Miami?
Said that. I remember you said that.
Because we were scared, obviously we ended up with Carson Beck, but we were pretty desperate there for a little, minute.
I mean, our offense, he would have been pretty good.
So, and I think from what I've read, they're going to probably go apply for another year of eligibility for him. So,
what makes Austin Simmons an interesting guy, and you never really saw him do his total. It's not like Austin Simmons was amazing when he played. He had some nice moments. I like him. I think he's good. But, he's going to be an interesting guy. Because I wouldn't call him like a Jackson Arnold that you saw a lot of bad stuff. And he went pretty, he got a good situation at Auburn. Didn't pan out, but he had interest.
Mm-hmm.
Simmons, you haven't seen as much bad, but you also haven't seen as much football. So, I don't know how you evaluate an Austin Simmons out of the portal.
Yeah, and you never know how these situations turn out. He may get another opportunity this year, and once he gets in there, he shows how good he is.
And then the other guy's in the portal.
And then the other guy's back. He's one of those guys that just strikes me as when he gets back in there, he's going to light it up. Who was it? It was kind of Tua and Hurts a little bit. I think it could be kind of like that situation. I don't know. That's
not best, terrible comp.
I mean, I think it could. I think
in reverse.
In reverse, yeah. I think it ended up being something like that.
Phil L saying that Trinidad Chambliss is what we thought Parfenbarger would be before Cam. Yeah, who knows how that would have turned out with that good. I mean, we obviously had a good offense. Cam was the number one pick of the draft,
but I mean, he's not even starting in North Texas right now. So I think we can probably say that he wasn't couldn't crack it at this level.
The guy who's starting over him. Mestmaker, he didn't even start in high school.
Right.
He like a Kyle Trask, just a backup quarterback the whole way in high school, gets an opportunity. Kyle Trask was interesting because he got an offer from Mullen. I believe it was Mullen out of high school. And then he played for Mullen and had success.
Another UNLV, another program we talked about a lot over the summer. And
hey, that's the portal, man.
Yeah.
The portal, it shows you. And I think that situation, you want to talk about a playoff team. I wonder if UNLV goes undefeated, they're that team, right? It's not USF with one loss.
I would think it's UNLV, yeah.
Although the one loss is to us.
The one loss is to us, and they beat Florida, which UNLV beat someone.
They almost lost,
but they almost lost early in the year.
Yeah, they didn't really get a lot of buzz because they didn't look great early.
They're at Boise this week. They beat UCLA, but that was before the firing. So
right, but still a good win.
Yeah,
I mean, a Big Ten win. That's interesting. Yeah, and then barely beat Air Force. I mean, if they go undefeated, it'll be a feat. Because there's a lot of
funny though
games.
because I'm looking back and I'm thinking last year they beat Cal in the bowl game too, and they finished the year ranked. So. Yeah,
they weren't bad.
No, but it was a completely different roster. So.
Yeah, and a play caller that is, we think, the best in the country. Oh, no, man.
What's up, brother?
This is the great Eric Esteban's cousins right here.
I remember that's why it came to my mind. We're filling up.
We got more people pulling up here live at the Licking. So guys, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We're live here at the Licking Miami Gardens, 17647 Northwest 27th Ave, Miami Gardens 33056.
All right, so Grizz saying, would you rather go undefeated and Notre Dame gets in one loss, or Notre Dame? Sorry, Gary. That's hilarious, man. Gary Furman's killed. I don't want to use the comments because I don't want the real Gary to be upset. That's my boy.
But you've put the disclaimer out there that and I like Gary as well. Obviously, we had the Jay Lucas situation there.
We're just waiting for the ink to dry on that one. It's official.
I think. Well, they have a close scrimmage tomorrow, from what I understand. So I think when we see him,
when it's an open scrimmage, I'll believe it.
It's not yet. I think game one. That's when we can make it official there.
All right, so here's a question. Interesting question. Would you rather go undefeated and Notre Dame gets in, or one loss and Rams out? I would rather go undefeated. I'm not that worried. I think Notre Dame is good, but it's not like I'm petrified Notre Dame. I controlled that game the whole way. And Carr is playing really, really good right now. He played good against us. It was really everybody else that didn't play good. So I think we respect Notre Dame, but I don't fear Notre Dame.
Yeah, we match up well with them. They're gonna get more confidence, but Miami's gonna become Miami's going to be a different team, I think. Man,
they're not going to pull tackles out the portal either.
And how much will it help for this team to get hopefully some of these wins up under the belt? You didn't have offensively you had confidence last year, but the team as a whole was in a weird spot last year because the offense was looking at the defense and there was some tension there, and you just weren't able to get that confidence going as a team. I think if you can start humming here. We haven't seen a team, even again, going back to the team that was in 2017 ranked number 2, they were squeaking by those games. Yep. So we have not seen a team that's been able to get it going and keep it going throughout the season.
Hopefully not here against Louisville with Louisville's offense getting rolling. I mean, we're talking like this is going to be a decisive win for Miami. We don't know anything. I mean, I still do have some of that PTSD from Virginia Tech where we were rolling at that time and then came up on an opponent that really surprised us. Pete, I forgot. So Louisville honors Schellenberger, bring the boots back to the field. I forgot we were talking about boot versus boot, bota with our kicker Carter Davis, and that was the Louisville kicker's name. I should probably look him up. He hit a 58-yarder. The boot is the logo of the rivalry. Restrepo was posing with the boot last game when we beat these guys. So it's a boot-to-boot rivalry.
Cooper Ranvier.
Let's check out our guy from Louisville.
He took over from Brock Travelstead.
The first-year kicker?
Yeah, freshman. 6'2", 200, Lexington.
So he's already 9 of 10. Yeah, he's got a fit. Oh, as long as 50. I thought he had a longer one than that. But that's,
pretty consistent there. He missed trying to see how long the one that he missed was. I'm not seeing here.
40 to 49 yards. This is in that 40 range.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go.
We hit a 50-yarder, clear all the way besides that one miss. So good kicker. The boot-to-boot rivalry with Cooper Ranvier, Lexington, Kentucky. Probably a Kansas I member.
So we got almost 700 on this live stream right now. I hope you guys can't hear the drilling in the background. It's definitely in the mix here, but the energy's high, the vibes are high here at the Licking Miami Gardens. Always at the end of these streams, D, it always ends.
Oh, hold on, Antipas. Louisville has 2 kickers. Let's get to the bottom of this kicking situation for the Louisville Cardinals.
Wow.
Let's go. Hold on.
Isn't this what they speculated we would have
Yes.
in the beginning of the year? Auburn on
Yes,
the
I knew they had a kicker hit a 50-yarder. Okay, here we go. So in the battle for the boot, you have some tremendous kickers on display. Not only do you got big Cooper Ranvier, Nick Keller, 2 field goals of 50-plus yards, including a 57-yarder. So they got 2 kickers that can kick it from 50-plus yards.
Sheesh. I hope it's not close.
Yeah, seriously, man. No wonder these guys are close in the spread. The kicking game's unbelievable. My guy, Dat Dude, bought some BUZZN for the game tonight. Appreciate you, Dat Dude. Enjoy. Or Dat Dud. Is it Dat Dude or Dat Dud? I'm trying to give you the E, the silent E.
I don't know. It seems like one of those things that he couldn't get the
Yeah,
username.
he couldn't finish it.
Yeah.
John Shields says, Louisville getting spanked tonight. Loserville. My apologies. That's a good one. I hope you're right, John. I'm hoping. Yeah, Loserville. I never thought it's simple, but it's good.
Yeah, I mean, the pronunciation is pretty difficult as it is. Or, I don't know if it's difficult. I don't think that you agree with it.
Yeah, I don't really put a lot of effort into it.
Might as well just go with that.
I can't believe these guys got 2 legit kickers.
I mean, Miami does too.
It's true. We got a guy that was all Big 12 backup.
It was a good battle in camp. Like, we've seen what Carter Davis has done.
First team all Big 12 for Auburn.
But it was a tight battle, D. So
Antipas says, I'm a Louisville fan, but I respect the rivalry. Series tied 4-4 since 2004. It's true. Antipas, appreciate you joining us. Let me know in the chat, Antipas, what's up with this kicking situation? Why do they have 2 elite kickers? How did this work out? We got to go to the portal of Louisville next year if we lose Carter. Well, Carter Davis is drafted up. We got to get Ranvier or this other dude.
Let's go. We got our kicker. We're tampering.
Or
now.
Nick Keller.
So Castaneda Music
Nick Keller's a junior. Let's get one of these guys. Come on.
Castaneda Music says Heatherman's first test. I disagree with that. I think last week Florida State was a huge test against Malzahn.
Yeah,
that's a
they're the number 1 offense in the country.
Notre Dame. I can see how people would say that's not a huge test. You're going in with a first-time quarterback. It's showing that it was a test, though.
Number 7 scoring offense in the country. FSU number 14. Louisville 35th, but they haven't played us yet. So,
New King God says, why is nobody talking about the fact they have a 280-pound offensive line? We did. We went through their
through all their weights.
And we were very
underwhelmed,
concerned for them on that. But Andy Poss says because Louisville lost 4 one-score games and we wanted to share points. I don't know what he was. Was that the kickers?
Yeah, they're good.
So what do you think, D?
Question about Luca from the Louisville secondary. I'm not fond of it, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't think they're very athletic. I don't think they can cover that well. I don't think they tackle that well. I've seen Louisville play really, really good pass defense. I mean, you think of some of the guys they've had over the years. First-round picks under Charlie Strong, Jair Alexander.
Even last year, that Quincy Riley, who was a good player, 4th-round pick, I think, for the Saints.
Chandler Jones a couple of years ago. Jarvis Brown, both guys from Miami, Florida. I don't see those guys. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know if I'm wrong, Antipas, but I'm not seeing Louisville secondary this year as it has been at other times in that standard. So Antipas saying Louisville's top offensive lineman transferred out to spring. We replaced him with scrubs. I believe that is the he went to Virginia, the player he's referring to, and then he got injured before the season.
Yeah, he tore his ACL.
He didn't actually play for Virginia. But it was a pretty expensive transfer from Louisville to Virginia.
Which makes you think, man, Virginia, you got to give them some credit.
Yeah,
the way that they've kind of stabilized things. Because I think Elliott, there was some questions about him over the offseason. Would this be his last year? And it seems like they've been obviously playing well. But then this is without a guy who probably was their highest paid transfer. Definitely. I don't know what the numbers are, but I would think he was pretty high profile transfer for them.
Yep.
But yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember his name. But yeah, Virginia, and really the truth, I will say Virginia didn't beat Louisville decisively. Louisville kind of gave them the game in a lot of respects with the turnovers. So, I have to say that as far as it's not as a huge differentiating line that I see between Virginia and Louisville. Monroe Mills. was the name I was looking for.
Mills,
Monroe Mills.
Yeah, I
really
remember
nice
him.
transfer. Big kid, 6'7", 310, 315. So, yeah, much different size-wise situation. Backing up saying he likes Virginia's play colors. Look at play colors in the ACC. Just the problem is the transfers go the other way, unfortunately.
Yeah. It's nice to see some of these mid-level teams in the conference written now. Look, we haven't won it, so yeah, you can easily say, well, we've been mid-level team.
Yeah, we have.
But I'm talking about from a resources standpoint and things of that nature.
Yeah.
And even like a Duke stepping up the way and paying Mensa the way that they
handsomely
the way that they did, right? So like you got to give, I think we don't know what the future is for Miami in terms of the conferences, but while you're here, you got to root for these programs to elevate and kind of raise the national profile as much as possible, because that's all you got right now.
No doubt about it. 22 Greenwich, or 220 Greenwich says, I long for the days that Al Golden would talk about the height and weight of every player when asked a question about them. Do you remember that? I remember that. Remember like when you go over the whole roster and he knew everybody's size straight out the program?
Listen.
Which isn't very good, by the way. It serves as accuracy for the heights and weights. But.
Right. I'll say this. It's crazy to see how he has rebounded here, and I wonder if Penn State gives him a call.
It's been speculated.
I don't see why they would do it, but he's a much better fit there than he was here.
I agree. And Penn State's a better situation because even though they're having a bad year this year, it's not like they recruited bad players or they have a bad brand.
No, he'll recruit well there, I think.
They should have a bad brand given what they've done in the past, but for younger players, their brand is Micah Parsons, guys of that nature. So Abdul Carter. So they don't have a bad Saquon Barkley. I mean, they have a pretty good rep with young players and the way you can recruit to the school. So he'd do pretty good there. Now, you fire James Franklin, who finished top 5 so many times, won the Big Ten, finished top 10. Replace him with an Al Golden after you paid him $50 million. It's going to be received a certain way. I wouldn't have done it, but
Nick West says, have you seen the speculation on Joe Brady to Penn State? My thing with that would be, and I'm a believer in Joe Brady, but number one, first-time head coach for that job.
Yep.
Number two, it's a guy to me that's going to, if he has success, jump to the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been in the NFL already. Normally those guys want to be in the NFL. You don't have to deal with the recruiting and all that. I think you need a guy who's willing to be all in on what college is right now. And Brady left college for a reason.
Yeah.
So I just don't see that.
What I would do if I could, and I don't know how this thing's like, I don't know what the match is, so maybe it's a bad idea, but if you could get like a good offensive coach and a good quarterback, and the offensive coach brings his quarterback, that'd be a nice situation, because that's really, I think, what this program's trying to find is they just really, really want, an offense. It's like they want passing game. They know they're going to have good defense with athletic guys all over the place. They know they're going to run the ball at a decent level. So the question is, are they going to have the passing game that's at least as dynamic as it was, when Vic Sorley was running that RPO and doing things that way. So that's an interesting situation. Golden wouldn't be the most shocking thing in the world.
I don't think so either. I mean, he wanted the job when he was at Miami. We know that. He was flirting with Penn State at that time. So
how's their defense doing in Cincinnati? I mean, it's hard to say with the offense being, with no Burrow, and it's kind of
I don't know. They won last night. These NFL defenses are so weird to me also, because like they could just get sliced and diced by these great QBs like Aaron, 40-something-year-old Aaron Rodgers, right? But to me, Golden's a college guy.
Yeah.
I just think that when he went to the NFL, it helped kind of rebrand who he was, and you get back to the basics, I think, when you're in an NFL structure, because it's just really about football and ball. You have people that are dealing with the stuff that he had to deal with as a head coach at the University of Miami. Now, does he want to get back into that? Because as the coordinator in Notre Dame, he probably didn't have to do that much of that stuff either. It's again, as a coach, do you want to deal with everything that comes with being a college coach right now?
No, I'm with you 100%. It's a lot to it. Golden, I think, could at a place like Penn State.
Yeah. SFC Kane says kickoff at 2 a.m. here in Lithuania. Shout out to
Lithuania, because he's a soccer guy. I'm not as much of a soccer guy. I'm sure they play a lot of soccer in Lithuania, but
Basketball.
Lithuania is I was gonna say is one of the few sports where soccer is not the number one sport because it is probably the truest basketball country. I would say, China, I guess, but certainly Lithuania, maybe the Philippines, where Eric Spoelstra is from. They're big on basketball. I say those are maybe the countries where basketball is the unquestioned number one sport.
Who am I thinking of?
Arvydas Sabonis.
Sabonis, yes, but
player.
How about
Valanciunas?
But there was a guard. There's a guard that I was thinking of.
SFC I'm sure knows.
Sarunas is the
Sarunas.
Yes.
But then now, in the year 2025, how about Kasparas Yakachonis?
Your boy.
SFC can't say it. Army, not Lithuania. Well, enjoy your time out there. Let me know how the pickup game's out there, and they can handle the American post game over there. Probably can. Their post game's probably better. They probably got all the moves and stuff. They're like Sabonis, throwing passes behind their head.
That's great. It's probably getting to the end of the show here when we're talking about Lithuanian basketball here, D.
Hey, this is the highlights of Yakachonis.
Linus Kleiza. I remember him. He was a good player.
But do you see the highlights of Yakachonis throwing it behind his head? He was doing all kinds of
I did. I like him. I like that pick.
Lithuania produces DJs. I didn't know that. I heard Lithuania is one of the saddest countries, they say. I think they're having like some industrial problems, and then the weather's not
yeah.
But it seems like a cool place. I saw them, and they used to come to DC to play the championship games for basketball, and the whole neighborhood would be people in green and yellow just getting rowdy.
That's great.
I remember. Shout out to Lithuania. I remember thinking, like, man, it looks like a cool place.
Well,
DJ, Hurricane Booking says we got some Canes over here. Let's go. All right,
Canes fans. Past 5 o'clock here. We've been here at the Licking since noon. Gonna wrap up the show here. Remember, if you were not able to stop by here before the game, pick up food on the way home. Uber Eats, pick it up right before you get on the highway, head home. The Licking Miami Gardens, 17647 Northwest 27th Ave. Feeling good about less than 2 hours from kickoff here. Hit that like, subscribe to the channel.
Go Canes, baby.
Go Canes.
Let's go.